Butch Davis can sit back a bit now. Chris Boniol for the extra point with Novacek the holder. And instead of an Eagle lead, the Cowboys lead now 31-19. There's nothing Rich Kotite can do. 94-yard interception for a touchdown. First defensive score all year for the Dallas Cowboys. Randall Cunningham had completed 10 straight. And the Eagles had a 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line, poised to take their first lead of the game. But now the Cowboys lead 31-19. Boniol will kick off with 6:42 remaining. Herschel Walker on the return. He's played in a terrific game for the Eagles today. Derek Brownlow makes the stop. Playoff picture. The division leaders will make the playoffs, and then the next 3 teams as wild cards. If the Eagles were to lose and go 7-6, winner of Green Bay Detroit would go 7-6, and the Atlanta Falcons play the Niners. You see that the Eagles would really be in a scramble with Chicago right now, the leading wild card team, actually tied for first with the Vikings. First down on the 37-yard line. Gives to Walker. And Brock Marion on the stop after a pickup of 7.
You're going to see that Randall Cunningham had very little options here because this is tremendous coverage. And then watch right down here. Woodson is playing the ball face forward. And he's able to make that read and break before the receiver. And it's 6 points the other way.
Pass is good for the first down to Fred Barnett. And the Eagles in more of a hurry-up offense, and Cunningham is shaken up, as is Charles Haley in the backfield. It is not Cunningham, it is another Eagle, and it's Thompson, Broderick Thompson, the right tackle. Randall's all right, but Broderick is not. And we're going to take a timeout now as Haley also limps away from the play. 6:01 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Watch Broderick Thompson. He's pass blocking. Charles Haley will come from the corner and then watch his left knee right here. Takes a helmet right there on the knee. Fortunately, he got up and walked off himself.
Tom McHale has replaced him at right tackle, number 68. First down at midfield. Cunningham's pass is caught after being nearly intercepted by Fred Barnett making the play. What a nifty bit of running on the deflection. Robert Jones on the tackle, but Cowboys very nearly picked that one off. And it worked out for the Eagles in a gain of 17. And right now Woodson might have injured his hand.
Watch the concentration by Barnett. That ball is right on line. Boom, right off the chest. Should have been caught immediately, but isn't. Has the presence to stay with it. And then he does his crazy legs Hirsch imitation, running all over the field.
And Barnett has caught 6 passes for 95 yards and a touchdown. They're working on Woodson. And while they do, want to remind you, at the end of this game, Matt and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Woodson, of course, moments ago, returning an interception, 94 yards for a touchdown, his 5th interception of the year, and the first defensive score for the Cowboys this season.
Well, there are some who would say that Woodson may be the best safety in the league, overall game. Coming up and making a play, sitting back in the zones, coming up and making a tackle. And a lot feel that he has been a huge difference in the secondary of the Dallas Cowboys.
Woodson will leave the game and be replaced by Kenneth Gant. And Broderick Thompson has come back in the game at right tackle for the Eagles. And it's interesting, Matt, that even in a tough town like this, after that seemingly heartbreaking interception, no one has left the stadium. That stadium has very few empty seats. No one made their way to the exits.
Well, and at 5.5 minutes to go, you need 2 scores. If the Eagles can score here, get the ball back quick, they still have themselves a shot.
First down on the 33-yard line of the Cowboys. 5:27 remaining, 4th quarter. Cunningham out of the shotgun. Pass is caught again by Barnett. James Washington finished off the play started by Larry Brown. And a gain of 4.
And that's a poor spot if that's where the officials are spotting that ball. That should have been up another 2 yards.
Each team has all 3 of their timeouts here in the second half remaining. Second down and 6. Cunningham going to Victor Bailey. Good low throw and a fine catch. Trying to get away from Kevin Smith on the hurry-up. 9-yard gain, and they're ready to go again.
I mean, except for that interception, this is the best I've seen Cunningham throw the ball in a long time.
It's the Arizona game.
He's been throwing the ball well.
Out of the shotgun, Cunningham.
That's a flag.
Yes, it is. Barnett was interfered with by Brown, and that'll give the Eagles a first down.
The only argument you could have there was if it would be uncatchable, or did Barnett push off of him?
Defensive pass interference, number 24, spot foul, first down.
Well, he's locked up in man right there, and then the ball's in the air.
Yeah.
I think Fred Barnett was looking for the flag before the flag was ever thrown. He just turned and looked.
Looks like he made a written request. First and goal now at the 5 for the Eagles. Cunningham's toss, tip, going for James Joseph. Incomplete as Randall took a lick.
Big Chad Hennings got in there and gave Cunningham a shot. Watch him work on Antone Davis. Just dips right underneath. Antone tried to block him with his rear end. Didn't do the job. And Hennings comes up and puts some heat on.
Second and goal at the 5-yard line, and this would be a 4-down situation for the Eagles, trailing by 12 points with 4.5 to go. Cunningham fires away. He was going for Calvin Williams, and again the Cowboys putting pressure on, knocking Randall Cunningham down. And Russell Maryland is slow getting up, and he's holding on to that right knee.
Remember, Russell Maryland had all those foot problems in all those years, and then the shoe company came out and custom made him some shoes with a steel plate in the bottom. That's alleviated a lot of the problems. But he's not holding his foot right now. He's holding that right knee.
So all of a sudden, the Cowboys, and you talked in the pregame show about all of the injuries they report now after that fine to Troy Aikman because of the thumb injury. Legitimately, they're piling up some injuries late in the game. Want to remind you the second half of our Fox NFL doubleheader. 49ers against the Atlanta Falcons coming up next. And, Atlanta's got to play better than they did the first time around when they were really scorched by the Niners.
Well, and they just self-destructed. Remember, they had the turnovers and then fumbled, interceptions, and then the game just got blown out in the first half. For them to have a shot, they've got to come out. They've got to control the pace of that game. They can't let San Francisco get into their game where they just keep on piling on the points.
Troy Aikman should be ready for the Cowboys' next game against the Cleveland Browns next Saturday. Maryland will come out. Darren Woodson, by the way, has come back in the ball game at free safety. Now, Cunningham under pressure. 13 knockdowns today.
Yeah, but he stood inside that pocket, and now in third and goal, and in fourth and goal if need be. At one point, you're going to have to allow Cunningham to use his feet and his mobility to buy you the time. So far in the first 2 downs, they've just stayed in the pocket.
Chad Hennings has replaced Maryland. Woodson, as we said, back in. It'll be third down and goal at the 5. Incomplete, going for Calvin Williams, and now the Eagles face a 4th down.
Washington got his hand on that thing, knocked it away, or that would have been 6. The Cowboys play great zone defense down here. I mean, it's really hard to throw on them. The field is all shrunk down. You're dealing with only 15 yards, and then they have the pressure up front with those down people. Then they just play that 4 across, and all of a sudden, it can be man-to-man, but you're still in your zone because you're going to get pressure off the corner, and your safeties are sitting right inside.
4th and goal. Walker in motion. Cunningham. Bad pass to Joseph behind him, and that might have slowed him up enough to allow Larry Brown to make the play, and the Dallas Cowboys will take over on down.
I think that's a bad decision. I think when you throw this ball, it's got to be in the end zone. You can't rely on a guy out in the flat to outrun that defense who runs that well. And that ball has got to be into the end zone. I'm surprised they just didn't spread the whole field, go with 4 wides and take their shot. Because they do, they go outside, and then they're trying to run these people off. And there's just too much of this, too much speed to get there. Maybe what they could have been trying to do is run a pick. But if you're running a pick, it has to happen quick.
Too much speed and not enough blockers out there anyway for a foot race, so the Cowboys take over on their 4-yard line with 4:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Emmitt Smith, and the Eagles may have to use timeouts now to stop the clock, and they use their first. That was Romanowski on the play to stop Emmitt. And a timeout. First timeout of the second half for the Eagles. And other members of the defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles have used up 1 timeout now. They have the Cowboys backed up, but man, how many opportunities have the Eagles have had in the red zone close to the Dallas goal line only to fall up empty?
I mean, I think 5 that I can count, and I think that's a credit to the secondary and linebacker play of the Dallas Cowboys, because they played great pass defense down there.
This quarter, the Cowboys with minus 13 yards have outscored the Eagles 10-6. Second down. Emmitt Smith gets down, and another timeout called by Philadelphia. That'll leave them with 1 timeout remaining. 4:08 on the clock. So what the Eagles are hoping for now is to stop the Cowboys without getting a first down, get good field position, maybe score, and then get another chance on an onside kick. Heather Locklear and Dennis Miller host the 1994 Billboard Music Awards this Wednesday. Join the hottest names in rock, pop, country, and R&B for the biggest music event on television. The 1994 Music Awards this Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Cowboys have certainly dug down deep when they've had to. They did in the second half against the Packers on Thanksgiving Day after they were trailing. And again today against the challenge by the Eagles. Game is not over yet. Stays a 3rd down and 6. Here is Emmitt Smith. And Smith is going to be tackled by Thomas and Greg Jackson. And a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Eagles' upcoming schedule, they've got a tough one next week, Matt, in Pittsburgh, and then they finish with the Giants and the Bengals.
And those are all games that they can lose, and they're all games they can win. I mean, that's just one of the kind of, I mean, that kind of sounds trite, but that's the kind of team this Eagle team has been. I mean, they'll be in every one of those games. They can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, certainly New York and Cincinnati. But if they have any down and they don't have the collective effort, they're going to get beat.
John Jett will kick from the end zone, and Jeff Seidner near midfield. Good kick, and a fair catch called for by Seidner. Russell Maryland won't be back the rest of the game. He has a sprained knee. On the other hand, the Dallas Cowboys, they have a lot to shoot for themselves. Of course, the best overall record in home field throughout the playoffs, something they don't have right now. A bye week by winning the division. They've got the Browns at home next Saturday, and then the Saints and Giants on the road.
And those are all 3 winnable games from the Cleveland Browns, of course, playing good football. But I think when the Dallas Cowboys play their best football, nobody beats them. I just think they're the best team out there.
One thing no team has ever done is sweep the NFC East, and the Cowboys have a chance if they win today and beat the Giants. First down on the 40. Cunningham in trouble, and he's sacked for a loss.
Charles Haley flew around the corner of the rookie Williams, forced him to step up, and then finished it off. The second sack of the day. I think 1 early in the first quarter, and then again now.
Tolbert has 2 of his own.
Yes, he does.
2nd and 15. Just under 3 minutes remaining.